Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're logging in today. Thank you for joining us, and we're very excited. Dave Miller, president here at eMAM, and today we're going to present our integration with CuttingRoom and how we work together. So very excited to share our new integration and what that means for customers and how that works. I have with me Chuck Bulow, he's our VP Business Development, and Helga Hay-Broughton, who is CEO and co-founder of CuttingRoom, to present the integration today. If you have any questions, please put them in the question box, and we'll answer them at the end. And if you want a recording of today's session or the PowerPoint, let us know. We'd be happy to share that with you. So I'm going to turn that over to Chuck Bulow, and we're going to show you how we work together and how the integration works. Thanks so much.
Great, thanks, Dave. We're just going to go through just a couple of slides here, just kind of set the context of how things are laid out and so on with eMAM and then CuttingRoom as well. So we'll kind of go through those here real quick. What I wanted to do is explain a little bit about eMAM. We are a media asset management system with lots of opportunity with managing content virtually anywhere. So cloud, on-prem, hybrid configurations, and so on. With eMAM, you're able to do live encodes as well as live editing. We also have AI tagging within the media that does come into the MAM system. And then, of course, also integration with many of the editing tools. Of course, here we're going to be talking about CuttingRoom as well here. So with that, we'll go through some of the different features we have here in eMAM. Also with the ability to do robust, sharing of media, delivering, searching, and finding all the content, packaging up the content as well, logging the content and various things. And then, of course, being able to securely store that media and be able to then share out that media. But in this case here, like what we're talking about today is more of like a cloud-based environment where we can provide content managed up in the cloud, say in AWS, and then being able to have CuttingRoom go through and be able to search for that content and then, of course, edit that and distribute that content as well. But again, with eMAM, we're able to kind of manage live feeds coming in, camera cards, streams, various things, and logging, manage that content, organize the content, tag the content, virtually store it in any location that you need, but then also make that available for all the editors to be able to access that content and go through. So Helga, we're going to have you go ahead and maybe talk about CuttingRoom and then go through some of the features that CuttingRoom has, and then I'll do the demo of CuttingRoom going forward. So I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Chuck. Hi, everyone. I'm Helge Hay-Broughton, and thanks for spending your time listening to us. So CuttingRoom is basically cloud-based video editing. It enables you to have your teams working from anywhere and collaborate in real time. And it's integrated with many MAM systems, among them eMAM. And the reason why we do this is that we believe that we are focusing on making the best editing experience out there, while others are focusing on making the best MAM solutions. And you should be able to pick the solution you like, whether it's the MAM or it's the editing, and it should all just work together. CuttingRoom is a multi-tenant SaaS solution. There is nothing to install. You can use it on any computer, whether it's Mac or Windows or Linux or even a Chromebook. And you can use even a Chromebook for doing 4K video editing because all the heavy lifting is done in the cloud. We really worked hard to make sure that you are experiencing a professional editing experience in the browser. So if you have ever experienced like how web video can be, like clunky and slow, and that's not what we're all about. We wanted to take the professional video editing experience and move that into an efficient cloud workflow. So with CuttingRoom, you can edit from anywhere. You can, of course, set up your own authentication, so you control the security. People can collaborate, like one can work actually in real time, like just like editing a Google spreadsheet together. You can now edit video. And people use that for many different purposes. For instance, now a journalist can be geographically separated from the editor and still being able to put down the voiceover, review the edit as it is in progress and discuss with the editor. Or maybe the editor-in-chief needs to see a story before it goes on air. In CuttingRoom, she or he can do that before even rendering out a version and sending to them. So people save a lot of time. And saving is a lot about what we are about as well, because since you no longer have to have expensive equipment, you no longer need to have expensive on-prem equipment as well, and server parks, etc. It's very cost effective. And it's as simple as a subscription. So you just buy a subscription from us, and you can link it up to your eMAM MAM system within a couple of minutes. And this you can do all by yourself. No professional service needed. When you're done doing your story and editing it, it's equally important that you can get your story out as quickly as possible. So you can get it, of course, back into eMAM and use it from there to all the different integrations that eMAM already has. In addition, you can send it to other systems, you can send it to OVP platforms, you can send it to your social media profiles directly from the edit suite. So it's all about like removing the necessity for manual processes, speeding up everything. Talking about speed, our rendering is like, if you want to render an hour of video in 4K, it only takes a few minutes. If you want to start using our sources from eMAM, for instance, an hour of video, we proxy that in 7 seconds. So 7 seconds after you have a video in your system, you can start editing. So with this in mind, with eMAM and CuttingRoom together, you have what you need in order to be very efficient in your workflow. So over to you, Chuck, and the live demo.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. And then one last thing I wanted to mention as well, with the live streaming capabilities for the reporter side, you do have access with your phone, with an app on your phone, to be able to then stream live, even with a teleprompter, and being able to record yourself or record whatever is going on that you want to record in a live stream. That then also comes into CuttingRoom as well, which is quite nice, which is a great feature there. So the setup. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
thanks for mentioning that. And the CuttingRoom Reporter is actually an app you can download for free from the App Store on iPhones, and you can play with it. When you get a CuttingRoom account, you can then either shoot, you can record videos that will be uploaded directly into your eMAM storage, or you can also go live, as you mentioned, Chuck, straight into your news gallery. And the great benefits that our customers see is that this is so easy for the reporters out in the field to use, that they save a lot of time and they don't make mistakes, because all of the difficult settings, etc., are all taken hand of by the admins. So it's very easy to use.
Yeah, it's great. It's very cool. I was recording at IBC, and then I was uploading into the platform as well, and cutting the videos there as well. All right, so the setup for the demo that we have is Helga is in Sweden, I'm in North Carolina, and Dave's in New York, but then of course we all have access to the content, the system for eMAM and CuttingRoom up in AWS, and then using standard S3 bucket for editing. CuttingRoom does have other options for different storage as well. So what we were doing was uploading the content into the eMAM system, and then organizing that content and then making that available for an edit session within CuttingRoom in there as well. So kind of looking at that, we'll switch over to Chrome here. So this is the interface. So you do have a login with your credentials into the CuttingRoom interface, and then having all of the capabilities here with being able to search for content, creating project bins. You also have graphics and so on that you can save and use within the system as well. And then of course with eMAM, what we're able to do is go ahead and look right into the eMAM system and then look at all of the content that's in the eMAM system. And then of course also just do a quick search. There we go, Lighthouse. So looking at the Lighthouse, videos and so on within the eMAM system, I have this now connected to my eMAM system. And the way we're doing that is actually through all the different settings. We're able to set up all of the different storage, the integrations, and of course in here for us, they have many different integrations with different applications. And then of course now we've integrated now with eMAM, CuttingRoom has. And then of course all the different storage locations that you have and different options for storage that you can use there as well. So lots of options there. All the different users, you can also import graphics from Adobe After Effects. Like I do a lot of Adobe After Effects, Mogerts and various things. So motion graphics I can also bring into the system. And then of course also the live reporter, being able to set that up, and that I have it set up with Helge, the live feed from my phone or just recorded feeds that I can just go ahead and upload and set that up. And then this is where you go in and download the app and then be able to download the app, put it on your phone, and then of course set up and connect with the streaming site that you're uploading to, and then going right into the CuttingRoom editor there as well. Distribution-wise, okay, so this is really key. This is a great feature where you're able to upload to Facebook or Instagram, YouTube, X, back up to AWS, or even just back into the eMAM system. So a lot of people are either just delivering directly to YouTube, and then they want to take that content, they can then export that and distribute that directly to back to the eMAM system for archive and use later. And then of course all the streaming files and things that you produce could also then go right into the eMAM system. So in this case here, what we've done is looked at the S3 bucket of the eMAM system and what eMAM is managing, able to look at that. We also have then the live reporter here where you can actually bring that into the system and then view the live stream as it's coming in. I've also done some others as well. These are just some samples that I've just produced, with my phone and various things in the office here. But you're able to look at the streams as well. You also have the options for those saved graphics. So you have lower thirds that you produce. You can basically take these and with these templates, be able to then drop those right into the timeline and just drop those in and actually edit those as well. So being able to bring those in, drop them onto the timeline, and then of course also you have many tools here within the CuttingRoom where you're able to go in, click on a clip here, do an inspector, and then of course also do all the different edits and so on for positioning, for scaling, for rotation, opacity. You have masking capabilities in here as well, color correction, brightness and hue and exposure and saturation, and then of course also keying as well. So a lot of the different options that you have within here are very robust. And again, this is all a cloud-based environment and being able to access the content. Once you bring in assets and bring them into your bin and then load them up, the proxy that you're viewing here is produced by CuttingRoom, and then it makes it available for then you to go ahead and then insert and drop those right onto the timeline as well. As you had mentioned, we've got different transitions that you can go in and add. So if I've got in a transition here, I can go ahead and add this, drop it in, and then fade ups, fade downs, music, video as well. And then I've also got key points here, or keyframes, that I can actually go in and set that up as well, where I could actually then fade out the music or fade into the music and so on. You have full cuts and edits there. You've also got then that, again, that graphics template. I can go in and create different graphics items and so on. I could also then bring in from After Effects the Mogerts. I can bring those in as well. You do have a voiceover recording. So in the middle of this, I could have the music playing and then go ahead and record my voice for the voiceover, edit that, of course. I then also have a blade here where I can just cut the videos. Also, I can enable the scrubbing of audio and then snapping to the different edges and so on. And then, of course, also collapse or expand in the audio tracks, so I can then go in and edit and adjust the audio levels and so on with that. Now, what's also key here too is that you could be in a 16:9 environment, and then let's say you're going to go ahead and push this out to Instagram, for example. You can actually then switch over to a 16:9 and then adjust the panning of the video. So keeping, you know, of course, the key points of the video and what you want to point and show. I can adjust that as we're going with keyframes throughout the video as well. So if you just want to also make a copy and then adjust that for Instagram, you can do that as well. But robust little editor here. I mean, the idea here is really is you know, giving you full capabilities. Oh, here's Helga. There's we go. There we go. And so I can actually see his stream now going right into eMAM, and then of course I can go back and then find spots and then go ahead and set in and out points and then drop those right into the timeline there as well. So quite interesting, where I could have live streams coming in, select each one, start cutting those live streams as they're coming in, and then of course drop those right onto the timeline there as well. Again, once you're done with all of the edits, and again, you can just keep adding more tracks and multiple tracks and tracks of audio there as well. Full-based editor in here, and then I can actually then go in and do a render out of that timeline. So what CuttingRoom now is doing is then rendering out then a full, in this case here, a 1080p and a 9:16. So then I can distribute this. I can send this back to eMAM. I could send it up to YouTube and then put in all the information for YouTube here as well. And then of course, I could send it back to an S3 bucket, maybe to be picked up by some other source, or I can also then go right to eMAM as well and select which items are going to be there. And then of course, also, I could just simply download that content. But the options for distribution are pretty widespread, because I can then kind of decide with different types of workflows, like if I want to distribute to eMAM, and then I can actually go out to play to air, streaming, or whatever it might be there as well. So lots of options. You'll always have a connection directly back into the eMAM system by just clicking on the video and then being able to go in and drop that video in, and then be able to see that back into the eMAM system and distribute that back into the eMAM system. So again, going back to CuttingRoom, I can distribute to any of these levels, but also as a sample here, I just want to show you that I did upload a video directly to my eMAM or YouTube channel that I could just deliver. And then of course, all the information I can pass on to YouTube with regards to the type of video, genre, and various things like that with that metadata. But that's all part of that distribution component of CuttingRoom, and being able to then produce and deliver that content. So again, all of this full robust editor. I have access into multiple S3 buckets, and then in this case here for our demo today, we're accessing then our eMAM system with all the media and all the metadata and markers and various things, but accessing all of this content directly into the CuttingRoom interface. So again, being able to share the content, deliver the content. One thing I forgot to mention, you can have multiple people looking in on your edit session as well. That's really key. is being able to log in. As you can see, Helga just logged in, and he can actually then watch and view and cut and change as well while we're doing the demo here. So he's now adding some graphics and moving things around, and so you can have a collaborative edit session as well, all from the cloud and all from anywhere. So, Helga, did you want to add anything else? Did I miss anything?
I think you should take over my demos because this was great, Chuck. Absolutely, and thank you for doing that. One of the things that I would like to mention is you mentioned all the that you can do different aspect ratios. I just want to stress that you can set up and you can configure this exactly to your liking. So you can do 4K to YouTube, you can do 1080 interlaced for broadcast, you can do 916 or square or CinemaScope or whatever you want to output, you can do from the same project here.
That's great.
Great.
All right. There we go, Dave.
Thanks, guys. Thanks so much. We can dive into questions. Put them in the question box. A few quick questions right away. So costing. Well, from the eMAM perspective, there's a lot of choices, which is to say there's perpetual license, subscription licenses, SaaS and PaaS options. And you can get information on our website, and you can also find our system integrator reseller partners on our website. Helga? Oh, actually, I put their website out there in the chat.
Yeah, so thank you for that. And if people go to the website, you'll see that you can register there for getting in touch with us and getting to take CuttingRoom for a spin. Maybe you already have eMAM, and then we'll let you know how to configure the two together so you have instant access to your content right away. CuttingRoom is a subscription service, so it's you pay by the user. That's the model.
Great. And then deployment. So obviously CuttingRoom is SaaS. eMAM. Oh, well, I'll take the Chuck. eMAM can be local in the cloud and hybrid. So wherever it makes sense to put the parts of the system, it can work seamlessly together. Question on integrations or working with other editing tools. I think that's more for Helga.
Oh yeah, so when you're done with your editing CuttingRoom, if you would like to take it into, let's say, Adobe Premiere, DaVinci Resolve, Avid Media Composer, we support that. Right now we support it through that you could, from a CuttingRoom project, download both an FCP7 XML or an Open Timeline file that you can import in these other tools. But we're soon also coming with a dedicated CuttingRoom Adobe Premiere panel and Avid Media Composer panel, so that we will take care of the relinking and everything directly for you. Because we don't believe in walled gardens. We believe that people should be able to choose the right tool for the right job, and that the tools should just work together. That's why we're also happy to be a partner of eMAM.
Great. And eMAM as well, it has panels inside Adobe and Resolve and Avid. So great. And then question on metadata. So what are the metadata tagging and archive search capabilities of the solution?
Yeah, so that's typically where a eMAM system shines, where you're doing all of your metadata tagging. We will make sure that the metadata you have will flow through, so that once you get your rendered story back into eMAM, you can also get a description of how this was built, from which material it was built, etc. So the eMAM system can take care of genealogy. You also have automatic versioning and all of this. So there are endless possibilities when people integrate CuttingRoom into other solutions to support that. One of the things that we haven't shown here today that we demoed at IBC and is out for the first customers now and will be in general release very, very soon is transcription-based editing, where you can go in and edit based on text and also automatic captioning. So watch out because this is coming very soon. And if you register on our website, we'll make sure that you can have a sneak peek on that as well.
And so speaking of sneak peeks, so we have on beta our first version of an on-prem AI, eMAM Next. So reach out to us if you want information on that. And we have, I think, 10, Chuck, AI integrations working local in the cloud.
And grow, yes.
And then obviously tools for good old-fashioned human tagging, whether at ingest or after ingest for tagging the media. And sending them to archive. So obviously the media is where it needs to be. So we're going to retain a proxy copy for search and preview and sharing, and then store that media where it makes sense. So it could be in deep archive, it could be intermediate access, on premise in the cloud. Too many options to list. Yeah, anything else, Chuck, to add to that?
No, I think that's it. It's different flex. The thing about it is with CuttingRoom and eMAM together, I mean, there's so many flexible options for deployment of assets and different storage options within CuttingRoom and also within eMAM as well. Just makes a great solution for cloud-based and even hybrid as well. So we're able to store not only maybe an original red files or something below, but then we can put mezzanine copies up in the cloud that CuttingRoom can take advantage of and cut and edit remotely as well. So lots of options there that we can deal with. So yeah.
Great. Yeah, it looks like we've answered kind of all the questions during the session, and let us know if you would like a copy of either the PowerPoint or the recording today. And thanks for your interest and have a great day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. And thank you, David and Chuck. It was great meeting you here.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care.